Today I'm going to be decorating my brand new sketchbook and doing a few sketches in the first 2 pages, so I'm going to bring you guys along with me. The first thing I like to do to decorate my sketchbook is to add some stickers. So these are my favorite stickers that I have. Normally I like to go with like a color scheme or something. I don't know if we'll do that again. Okay. I think this is my group, and then while I use the sketchbook, we'll see if I want to like include any doodles or anything. Here are the stickers that I ended up choosing. I think they go pretty well together while still looking kind of random, which is what I like. And then I chose this one for the back over the Ugly Books logo. Next, we have to add some stuff in the front cover. Normally I'll do my goals for the sketchbook over here, then put this sketchbook belongs to, my name, and then some information about me, and then I put my sticker, my logo in here, and then we'll start the brand new sketchbook. This is one of my stickers. This is my logo. Normally I put it like up here and then write my information below it and then write out some of my goals. So for this sketchbook, I hope to work on more character design along with character development. What I mean by character development is I want to see the character in different stances and different storylines, maybe even sketch out some comics. Then another thing would be figure drawings, realism. So I think those are pretty good goals for a single sketchbook. Put my logo on here. Next, since I said that one of my main goals was to work on character design, we are going to be working on character design in this first few pages. Okay, so instead of working on a character that I have already made, I am going to be working on just getting a prompt for a character and then doing that prompt. And I'm just going to hit generate idea and see what we get. I got a male who is a child who has a key feature of bushy hair and appears feminine. So first I'm going to just draw out what I think that character might look like. So we're going to draw a few different ideas. So it is a child, but I'm going to go with more of like a tween, like around that age. A reason that I am working on character design in this book is because I want to work in animation, and a big part of animation is you're supposed to kind of do a lot of character design. So I would like to kind of explore that. It's always been kind of hard to do character design for me just because I've never done it before. I never really got into doing that when I was growing up, so it was kind of hard. Normally I would draw characters and then just kind of forget about them, which is not beneficial because then you never stick with it. If you don't stick with the character, how do you really learn who that character is and know about them and work with character development and things like that? So we're just going to draw a basic person just standing here. I also got this sketchbook to try and focus. I'm kind of drawing diagonally for some reason. I got this sketchbook to focus on character development and character design. I liked that it was longer, so I might be able to kind of draw like characters out like this, or even draw characters in different movements and stuff and do step by step. So here we just have a basic character drawing, and this is just the first thing that came to mind for me, and then I'm going to look at some reference images and see where we get from there. This is what I have so far. I don't love it. I think it lacks personality, and I'm going to write that down here just so that I kind of have something to base it off of. So lacks personality, needs to be a bit more unique. This character is also supposed to be clumsy, so that's like one of their main points. I'm going to draw a few more sketches and then I'll move into action poses. So we're just gonna kind of focus on how I want the face to look here. So feminine, it would be a bit more of a pointed, skinnier face, tends to have less of a defined jawline. So I'm going to move along with that idea. I want the nose to be really soft because women tend to have more softer features. And then I'm thinking maybe instead of these small eyes that I went with the first time, I might go with really big eyes since it is a child and you tend to draw children bigger eyes. Then I always draw my characters with pretty large eyebrows. I just like how that looks. And I'm not really liking how this nose is turning out. So I'm going to change it to look a bit less noticeable. No expression or anything yet, because I'm still just figuring out how I want this character to look. The prompt was that they had very bushy hair. I did an afro for that one, but I like how this one's looking a bit more. And maybe it's like kind of going in the character's eyes and kind of all over the place. So a reason that I want to focus on character design is because I'm going in animation, as I said before, but I kind of just decided that I was going to go into animation. Also, I'm drawing at an angle again. I kind of just decided this weekend, actually, that I am going to finally pursue animation and kind of take that risk, which is a really scary idea, honestly, because before I was going to go into graphic design, and it's just more reliable and more accessible to get a job. Graphic design, you can pretty much go anywhere, but animation, you kind of, first of all, you have to be like the best of the best to get into animation or any animation field. And then after that, you have to live in certain areas that even have options for what you are looking to do. The entertainment industry is hard anyways, and then you add on that like you have to be a good artist, so it's just even making it like a bit harder. Luckily, I have kind of a motivation towards it now, because before it was like, okay, I need to work more on graphic design instead of animation, but now I'm putting all my focus towards it. So scary, but also feels pretty good. This is the character that I have. I like this a lot more than this. This felt really basic, but that's why you never really go with the first idea and you kind of try and explore new ideas. I'm not drawing like too detailed yet. As you can see, the arms are just kind of like nubs, but we'll get into that once we get into poses. But right now I'm just trying to figure out how I want the character to look and what clothes I want them in. They said they were looking more feminine, so now I'm going to try and focus on a more feminine presenting person. The reason I made this decision this weekend to go into animation is because I have been looking to transfer schools. I went to a community college, and so that is only 2 years and I get my associates. But to continue my educational career, I guess you could say, I would need to go into a 4-year school. And I have been looking at a lot of different schools near me, far away from me, everything. And I really just haven't been very satisfied with anything that I've seen. It's really frustrating. We've been driving a whole lot and going to different places all the time, and I've been taking time off school and doing all this just to not really get anything out of it. I go on a lot of college visits and tours, and I tend to leave those college visits with more questions than I started with. A school that I really wanted to go to ended up telling me that instead of going for 2 or 3 more years, which is completely understandable, they would want me to go for 4 more years. In one of the programs, they do like a student review, like a portfolio review, but if you do bad on your portfolio review, then they kick you out of the major entirely, which is just, I think that's a bit ridiculous, and you just have to either pick a different major or try and go to a new school while you're updating your portfolio, which I just don't really agree with, honestly. I've also had to deal with like some pretty rude advisors, just people not really caring about what I've been dealing with. And then I get people who are saying that their school is better, and so they have higher standards for their students, and so they don't accept any transfer students into their program, which is like, honestly, it's ridiculous. That is so silly to me. So yeah, I've been trying to pick a school that I think really respects me as an artist and respects the art process. Another problem that I've been facing is that these schools are extremely competitive, which is perfectly fine. I expected that from an art school. From a lot of these schools, I've been hearing that the teachers are actually kind of putting you up against your peers. And while I think that's beneficial to let us know that art is competitive and it will be a competitive business, we also need to be collaborating with the people that we're working with. I've been working with my professor who has been kind of giving me advice on which school to go to. He recommended an art school in the Midwest, and I've honestly been kind of against art schools because although I do like being around artists and being in that environment, I also really enjoy meeting people from different backgrounds and talking to people who aren't doing the same exact thing I am. This weekend, I visited the art school that my professor told me to, and turns out I really, really like it. It's really cool. It's way different than what I expected from an art school. The teachers are very nice and very helpful. The advisors are very, very helpful. Another thing that I haven't seen from a lot of schools is that like nobody really remembers who I am because they are larger schools. The art school that I went to, they have a huge alumni, and they are helping their alumni even after you graduate. They help you get a job, and they help you get in contact with the alumni that is successful. They know a lot about the field that you're in, so they can help you with like getting a job like that. I'm trying a different kind of bushy hair. I don't know that I like it, but we're trying it. So I think these all kind of look a little too similar. Right now the one I like the most is this one. I might draw this one with this hair over here though. So yeah, I went to an art school and I was like, oh wow, this is not what I expected. One of the main things that they kind of talked about was collaboration between artists, not only in your major but also in different majors. They talked about how maybe if you're trying to make art on a certain idea and someone in say sculpture is making art on that same idea, you could collaborate, and they welcome that and they encourage that, which I don't know, I think that's really cool. I always think that's a fun idea to collaborate with people who are making different art than you. They had like special studio spaces for artists, so like you would get your own, it's almost like a cubicle, but you get like your own cubicle area to really like focus on your art, so you don't have to worry about getting a studio space or having a studio space. And if you get like an apartment or something, you don't have to worry about getting that on your own. They get it for you, and I think that's pretty cool. They also gave me a good scholarship, so although it is an art school and obviously art schools tend to be a bit more expensive, they gave me a pretty good scholarship that I don't know that I would still be able to afford it with this scholarship, but it definitely makes it a little bit more accessible. I just think that overall it was a really good experience. The professors were really nice to me. I got to talk to a few of them and they were really, really helpful and helped me understand more of what the program would entail. Something that I like just in general, base my visits off of is how the campus looks. I know that sounds a little silly, but I will be living there for quite a bit of time, and I don't want to live in like a cold kind of environment. So something that I look for is something that feels very comfortable, feels very cozy, just feels like somewhere that I would want to be. And because I think that would really kind of influence like homesickness and things like that, which are definitely something that you would have to go through when you move far away. Back to this sketch, right now I'm trying to make this character look a little bit more feminine, so I'm going to add some barrettes to their hair. Here I added a headband, and I liked the idea that they would be kind of interested in like fairies and stuff, not because I think that's like only for feminine people, but I liked fairies growing up, so that's really the only reason I'm doing that. Okay, this page is pretty much full. I don't want to keep going over stuff. I like these two designs the most. Now I'm going to try and pick a pose for them to be in. Obviously, I will kind of develop this character even more while I'm working with it, but right now I think I'm going to focus more on how they would look in different situations. I realized that I liked the art school experience more than I thought I would, and in that was talking to my advisor, and I was going to try and double major in graphic design and animation, just because graphic design is kind of like my fallback. If animation doesn't work out, I can go to graphic design, and I've always kind of thought of it that way, at least recently in the last semester. My advisor basically said that doing both graphic design and animation would be too time consuming, and it would just be pretty awful to try and do that because I just basically wouldn't have enough time for anything. So she kind of said that I would have to choose, and I did get accepted into this school, but I got accepted in for graphic design, not animation, so I would have to reapply to get into their animation program, which I am working on right now, and we'll see if I get in. If I don't, they said that I can take animation electives and kind of work towards that, and it wouldn't be my major, but it would be something that I could kind of learn more about. I decided that I'm going to take the risk that is animation and take that jump towards that, even though it's probably not the most logical answer, maybe not the smartest decision, depending on who you're asking, but that's what I want to do. But yeah, if you are someone who is going through the transfer process or might have to, and maybe you're going to a community college or something like that, and you are trying to decide like what is best for you, I want to tell you all of my experiences. And honestly, the transfer process has been really, really hard and really stressful and not fun. So I don't know if that will give you hope or just make you feel like sad, but it's not fun. Of course, FAFSA decides that this year is the year that they're gonna make everything really slow, and yeah, I've not had fun with the transfer process. Okay, so this is a little sketch I have of them. I'm basing it off of this design here. Yeah, it's really exciting, honestly, to finally feel comfortable in a decision that you're making. Oh, I like this drawing here that I have. Yeah, this is cool. This is gonna be like a falling pose. And then I might just draw some other facial expressions around because I can't draw a full body deal again. So let's draw just some other facial expressions. And then we will ink in some of these. Some of the ones I like, I'll probably ink in like these two, and then ink in some of these. I'm gonna draw them laughing a little bit here. I like this character prompt that I did. I just looked up art character idea prompts or something like that, and I clicked the first link if you were wanting to use the same kind of prompt. I will now be inking these on my Instagram. If you want to see the inking process, check out my Instagram, but they will also be posted on YouTube Shorts if you just want to stay right here on YouTube and check those out here. Overview of this character, I really like how I drew these. I think it didn't translate as well into the poses, so I think I wanted to add a bit more of this like floppy look, and I don't think that really translated very well, but that's okay. Now I'm going to shade it in with this purple pen. This is a Tombow. I did all my inking with a Tombow pen. This is the water-based soft tip black, and it is a brush nib. This is just a Tombow marker. I'm sure you've seen these before, and I will be using this to shade, and I use this to ink. I really like how this character turned out. I think I will keep working with this character a little bit, so if you want to see some of that, maybe subscribe and stick around, and I will definitely be posting sketches of them on my Instagram. And every video that I post on Instagram also gets posted on YouTube Shorts. Well, almost every video that I post, and on TikTok. I hope that the conversation about transferring and colleges was interesting, and I hope that it was helpful for anyone who might go through this in the future or is currently going through this. And if you are currently going through this, I hope you're sticking through it. So this character, I don't have a name for this character. I'm really bad at naming characters. If you have any name ideas, let me know in the comments, and I would be happy to hear from you guys. I'm always looking forward to what you guys put in the comments. I started out with this sketch and I ended with these two. I hope that this will be the beginning of a long journey in character design and character development. Let me know if you guys have any tips for me for character design and how to create stories for characters. I'm welcome to any advice that you guys have. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing if you did.